assembly plants in the United States of America are actually being manufactured in Canada and, more importantly than Canada, Mexico. So when these tariffs are placed upon Mexico and Canada, as Trump has claimed he's going to do, as he's signed into law as of today, what ends up happening is the engines that are being made in Mexico are going to be more costly. The parts within the manufacturing are going to be costly, which will then increase the cost of goods that are being domestically produced because they're being domestically assembled. But they're still being produced, or at least parts of them are still being produced globally. This is the reality of global trade. Okay? This is something that is impossible to avoid. We have designed society in a way where we're maxing out, I guess not necessarily efficiency, but we've designed society in a way where we max out profits. And therefore, goods that even are assembled or manufactured in the United States of America will end up seeing massive cost increases and supply shortages, especially in the interim period. Because a lot of these cars are still very much having their parts manufactured in Mexico. So even if you need a part to fix your car, it's going to be more costly for you. Something to remember, something to consider. The more you know with Hasanabi Piker. Yeah, the auto supply chain between Canada and the U.S. are extremely integrated. There's some stat that says parts cross the border 8 times prior to final manufacturing. The tariffs are horrible for everyone but the oligarchs. So how is it that BYD cars are able to be so cheap if not employing slave labor practices? BYD score at the bottom of Amnesty Human Rights scores, though. They are cool, but how do they keep them so cheap? Do you think it's because they're employing slave labor? Or do you think it's because it's insanely subsidized by the fucking Chinese government, which understandably sees more value in virtually gutting any kind of competitive European car manufacturing business? Unsure, wondering what your opinion is? No, it's the subsidies. Yes, workplace conditions are worse in China. That much is 100% a certainty. It's not like the nets and slave labor that people, understandably used to point to. Okay, it's not like China is utopian with labor rights for sure. Okay, this is currently not the case. Having said that, however, a big part of the reason why it's cheap is, aside from the cost of living being cheap and therefore wages being cheaper, a big part of the reason why the Chinese manufacturing is insanely cheap, okay, is because they heavily subsidize it, because the Chinese government understands that creating good, competitive products that people want yields 2 tremendous results. One, improves your soft power capabilities, improves your overall outlook around the globe. Think about the love and admiration I have as a Turkish man to the wonderful car manufacturers of Toyota. That's important. That's very important. I love Toyotas. Okay? I love that shit. I love Toyotas. They're incredibly affordable. They're incredibly reliable. They will. Even fun fact. I bought my brother a Toyota RAV4 recently. A plug-in hybrid Toyota RAV4. We are a Toyota family. Yeah. I bought it for him because, he's getting married. He's going to have kids. And I wanted him to have a affordable, reliable vehicle. Babam Toyota gibi adam. Yep. Do you think they're as reliable as our boy who did your brow? Okay, listen, that's just different shit. Don't focus on that. What's the road noise on the RAV4? I was thinking of getting one. I mean, it's a plug-in hybrid, so I don't think it's very loud. But that shit goes, yeah, it is crazy. It goes forever, dude. 90 miles per gallon is insane, brother. It's not 90, I don't think. Cheap? Could have bought something nicer. Come on. Wait, what? What do you want me to buy him? A fucking Lambo? What do you mean? I wanted him to have an incredibly nice car that is reliable and also has good gas mileage. I could have bought him a fucking expensive car. The issue is expensive cars have worse gas mileage. He also couldn't get an all electric vehicle, one, because of obviously distance concerns, but also beyond that, he doesn't have, you know, yeah, expensive cars are expensive across the board. It's obviously not an issue for myself, considering, you know, my financial circumstances, but that would be an issue down the line for my brother, considering his financial circumstances. Also, it's still a, you know, it's not a cheap car. What the fuck? I personally would have gotten my brother a Bugatti, but that's just me. He already is a car guy. He already has a Porsche.
The middle.
As you guys know, he has the Cayenne. He got like a 2001 Cayenne and he souped it up like insanely, but he's beating it to the fucking ground. I mean, the Cayenne he got, by the way, he has a Porsche that he bought for like $4,000, by the way. It's not, or something insane. I think he was like 4 or 5 grand. So it's not like he didn't, he didn't really splurge. Okay. The problem is he also uses that shit, and his fiance's car is a busted ass Kia that is unreliable at this point and has no assurances on whether it works or not. So I got him a fucking new Toyota RAV4 because I wanted his other car to not be a, you know, his other car to be like a real family car. And before you say, oh, well, the Cayenne parts are expensive, it's not expensive for him because this dude will literally design the parts himself. He has all the tools in my goddamn garage. You know this already. You know this because you hear it. You hear it in the background of my stream whenever he chooses to use the power tools. So he'll go and he'll get a fucking, he'll go and he'll get like cheap metal. He'll drive 30, 40, 50 miles out of the city to purchase metal that is like 10 cents cheaper. And I'm like, dude, you literally spent more money on gas in this process. When you say Cayenne, I assume you mean Cayman, the little roadster. No, he has a Porsche Cayenne that he off-roads with. He also got the chassis of a Cayenne, 2001 chatters. He also got a chassis of a Cayenne, cut it, and built a trailer from scratch that he also takes out when he's going off-roading and shit. It's crazy. He's my goat. Hamas is laying siege on Turkey. Take a look. This is insane. I love this so much. Sabra Humis. Hamas is laying siege on Turkey? Yeah, I don't think so. Anyway, I don't think Hamas is laying siege on Turkey, but let's watch American Hostage and 2 others released. And then after that, side note, new DNC chair famously said Hassan Piker is right while ignoring everything you said on CNN. Oh, yeah.
Thanks for having me on tonight. And actually, I think Hassan's right in most of what he says there. And particularly...
Yeah. This is the new DNC chair chat. That's why it's so funny when people are like, well, why is nobody paying attention to this drama YouTube that is just like 10-second clips clipped out of context? You got the fucking new DNC chair on the Aaron Burnett show being like, Hassan Piker is right. I agree with him. Although I have a lot of criticisms of him, and I will get to it in a little bit. Now, the reason why I mention this is because I need you to understand I'm charitable to you if you have been duped. Okay? I'm charitable to you if you've been duped into believing that I'm some like evil fucking deity, some evil being. And when that expectation doesn't match reality. So, comments here are the perfect encapsulation of hater brigades. Whenever a normal person warms up to you, yeah, I saw this. There are like a ton of comments being like, people hate Hassan for legitimate reasons. He's an idiot and at best a stochastic terrorist and at worst, he supports some of the worst regimes on this planet. He also loves terrorists. I thought he was terrible because I watched Destiny since 2019 and he so thoroughly poisoned the Hassan well with his fan base that you just don't really question it. But these guys also love, like, Destiny's fan base also loves CNN and like, you know, prominent liberals and stuff. So I just don't understand how that's not like shocking enough to them to reconsider their positions that maybe their favorite content creator who's like famous for debating the ethics of child porn or white people's rights in saying the N-word is probably not the political beacon that they consider to be, you know, the most thoughtful, the most mindful. Will you watch Canada's tariffs, response to the tariffs in a hour and a half? Yes, after I'm done with GeoGuessr, which is going to happen at the plan. The plan of attack today is I'm going to first watch Charlie Kirk talk about how tariffs are good, and then I'm going to continue covering the news, and then afterwards at 10, okay. At 10 a.m. in approximately an hour, I'm going to do a sponsored GeoGuessr stream. Okay, I will be playing GeoGuessr alongside a bunch of other content creators and a professional GeoGuessr pro. Okay, and after that, and that's for 2 hours. After that, GeoGuessr is also the perfect game to play, especially in this community because y'all are, you know, incredible nerds. But also on top of that, you know, it's a map game. It's a nerd game. GeoGuessr is people don't know what GeoGuessr is in this community. That's crazy. GeoGuessr is like a Google Maps game, basically, where they show you like one area on a map and you're supposed to click on the entire global map and try to figure out exactly where it is by looking at some clues. Are you feeling sad about the drama? Are you chilling? No, I'm chilling. I don't really give a shit. It's nothing new. The game is being bad at geography. I'm very bad at geography, famously. But it's not even necessarily that I'm bad at geography, even though I am bad at geography. I'm also very bad at test taking. You know what I mean? So we'll see. But I think it'll be funny. And then after the GeoGuessr game, we will watch the content nuke on Destiny by Ryan Beard, which details, I assume, some of the severe pain and harm that Sexpestiny has caused to many communities, both online and offline in the real world. And I say scratches the surface because it's an hour and 30 minutes. And the reality of the matter is, unlike the way his community has crafted elaborate narratives about how awful I am due to things that you would never even bat an eye at, like purchasing a house for myself and my family or leasing a Porsche, that many content creators have done time and time again, claiming that this is somehow at odds with the way I view the world because they have decided what my moral system looks like instead of hearing what my attitude is about these sorts of things. There are very real issues here. There are very real issues. There's very real harm that has been caused. So we'll watch this. We'll watch this later after GeoGuessr is over. No IRL today? No, we'll do IRL later as well. Can you teach my boyfriend how to be hot? No. Look at me. I can't. The last time I tried being hot, this is the result. Do you not see that? Do you not see my prominent eyebrows that look like they were painted on my face? That is a direct consequence of me going to beautify myself. So I feel like it was an unsuccessful attempt, especially when you look at how insanely tight this beard shape up is. Okay. I look positively British. With the sharpest eyebrow. I look like a fucking anime character. I think. Yeah. Your eyebrows look good. I think it's just shocking when it's on your face. It's just not what it normally looks like. I look like a British footballer. You then proceeded to actually make yourself more hot in the next morning, to be fair. Yeah, it's because I shaved my beard because I felt like it was looking weird. All right, let's get to Charlie Kirk. Yeah, fucking hell. Let's hear what he had to say in it about the fucking tariffs. Yeah.
President using tariffs in the way he has to encourage manufacturing to come back to this country has been long overdue. We used to fund the entire federal government with tariffs. We used to fund all of our goods and services that we had through tariffs. In fact, I love the president's idea of the External Revenue Service.
I love this concept because they're talking about a time when global trade was like negligible. You know what I mean? Like anything pre complete global trade. Okay. Yeah, dude. It was, yeah, when things were being shipped without the invention of planes. Okay. No, they're not living in the 1950s. No, he's talking about the 1850s, chatter. It's even worse. No, he's talking about the age of like piracy and not digital piracy. I'm talking ARG type pirates. Okay? Like they designed this intricate, complex web of global trade that they rely on. And now they're like, oh, but remember when we used to make people walk the plank, matey? Arg, things were much better back then, you see. probably earlier than 1850s, there was giga trade by then. No, there was giga trade in the 1850s. It's just that that kind of global trade is negligible in comparison to how it works right now. That's my point. Dude, there were no planes back then, okay? Well, obviously, a lot of trade is still done by ships. Even ship technology wasn't as advanced, okay? Cargo freight technology wasn't as advanced. It's not like there is no comparison you can make to trade in the early 19th century with modern day global networks, like the logistical the logistics that have improved, the supply chains that exist. It's just like immediate undocumented family members or something, right? That is you can put a tremendous amount of pressure on industry leaders by basically saying like, oh, you don't want to fucking comply with the administration's demands? Well, guess what? You're going to get hit with a tariff. Or rather, you can get an exemption from tariffs if you play ball, right? But the other side of the story is that it also, in my opinion, creates an opportunity for the Republican Party to finalize their agenda, which is to eliminate the last progressive taxation structure that exists in this country, even though the outcomes of said progressive taxation structure, given the million different loopholes that exist, is already not so progressive, but it's still at the very least progressive, okay, in theory. They want to eliminate that in its entirety and turn around and implement this regressive tax, a federal state, a federal sales tax, basically, in its stead. What is this video? Let's take a look. I'm going to go close the curtain.
I'm a normal, not terminally online person, but even I've noticed that the mainstream media is basically doing nothing but capitulating to the right. So what have you been watching to kind of stay updated and get some analysis? Shit. So there's a Twitch streamer named Hassan Piker. He's openly socialist and left-leaning, has a background from the Young Turks before he started streaming.
Hey, I'm swearing off bussy, okay?
Dude is on like 8 to 10 hours a day, every day, so you can pretty much always catch him.
But you like tap, and then they like.
Okay, you guys.
I don't agree with everything he says, but I sort of.
Okay, this is literally like, I mean, I don't like this call out post. This post is calling me out.
I agree with more than I disagree with, and even if you don't agree with it, you can at least understand his point of view. It's a well thought out analysis.
Yeah, I am being patronizing. I don't know who the you are, and you're over here chirping all the way from fucking London.
Right after the election, a lot of people were saying that he was going to be the Joe Rogan of the left, and I think he does represent a pretty healthy alternative to traditional masculinity.
You go to the gym, you're gay.
Sounds good. I'll check it out. Thanks. Yeah, well, let me know how that goes.
That's crazy. On the subject of maids, look who had a fucking thought about you being a cat maid. Hasanabi showing us what Biden's America would look like.
Okay.
Dude, that's so awesome. There's nothing funnier than a bunch of fucking insecure dudes lose their minds when they see a dude like me dress up in a fucking maid outfit. Like, you're saying stuff like this. Awesome. I've been watching you more in the living room, so my family watches and we're a mixed household, black and Mexican. My brother said, hey, you have the pass. I do not have the pass. That's not a thing. Okay. Let's be real. I mean, thank you, but I cannot take this.